These guys are ridiculous. These guys are ridiculous.
Now, how about them damn Celtics?
And we are back with another episode of How About Them Celtics. Sam and I are here recording on Thursday, January 12th, just a few minutes after the Celtics wrapped up against the Nets. But before we get into that, Sam, I know you had something you wanted to bring up quick.
Well, yeah, Jack, we were talking about, today before the Nets game, we did our first stream for Heavy on their Facebook page, which was
Check out
fun.
the pregame stream. Please
Jack,
do.
Tim, and I were out there chatting with the people of Facebook. Shout out to our man, Dan Dunk.
Dave Dunk. Dave Dunk. Beast.
Cut that.
Absolute beast.
No. But he was great, giving us great stories in the chat. And I was saying, Jack, I'm not sure if I'll be there for the Saturday stream. I've got Secret Santa in the middle of January.
Is this a work Secret Santa?
No,
or what is...
No. This is with the fellas.
Okay.
To its credit, it is with the fellas. No, it is in mid-January because, there's 12 of us and impossible to get these people together. I mean, we have somebody missing it regardless. They have to work. I mean, I don't know why it's so difficult. Everybody pick a day far enough in advance and don't get it. Don't work. Don't work. Now, the person that is missing it is a police officer, so it's a little different.
Okay.
That's fine. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
The rest of them, the planning of this event was far too difficult. We first picked the names for Secret Santa, I want to say at the end of October.
Yikes.
We did not set a date until no more than a couple days before Christmas. No way.
See, that's just bad planning on your part. Not you specifically.
Well, it's on all of us. Because, we would say, when are we going to do this? And no one would respond. But it's tough. You got people working 9 to 5. Some people have different jobs. You have the one guy's a police officer. I mean, it's impossible to get everybody in. We finally get someone in, and then somebody's going to be out. It's tough. And now I have to miss pregame, I think. Who knows? Yeah, it depends. Maybe I'll bring the laptop or something.
Yeah, just do it anyways.
Do it anyway?
Who cares? Yeah, why not?
I don't know. I don't know if this is a good environment for the pregame stream. It's not Smash the Odds Devin's house.
It's all right. I have the fellas
Big
in the
fan
background.
of the kitchen dining room setup at Smash the Odds.
It is
house.
nice.
Very good. Nice. I like it. He's got the best lamp. The arm moves around. It's got the top light and the side light. You move the side light,
that
put
is
it right
nice.
in your face. You look very handsome. I like that. But it is funny. I had the intern at my job ask me what my weekend plans were today, and I said, "Oh, I actually do have plans. Secret Santa." To which she replied, "It's a little late for that." I said, "I know. I know it's
that's
late.
A valid response from the intern. That is fair. Very late for a Secret Santa, but
the intern who sits across from me and for the last 2 weeks, and I just today remembered what her name was. Very bad.
Tough. That is very tough.
Well, it's bad because you get introduced and then you
forget the name. No, you know how it goes. It happens when it's like the outskirts of your mind.
I am not one to big time.
No, I know what you're talking about though. I forget names a lot. Then you're stuck in the what's the word? Not the tradition, but like the cycle of just saying, "Hey, how are you doing?
What's going on? How you doing?"
Avoiding the name, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No, I got you.
You can't ask.
No, you can't ask because that's the worst. Because then it's just awkward, and then because especially if they remember your name, like if they know your name and you don't know their name, it's just a brutal situation. Just brutal. But I actually we were talking about figuring out things to talk about before we jump into Celtics. I actually toured some apartments, excuse me, this weekend, so I can talk about that briefly because there's a funny story that came out of it. Me and my girlfriend Zoe were in Boston going to a game. Her family was in town, whatever. But we had like free time, so we went to tour a couple apartments in the West End. And they were in these towers, so like some good views. Like one of the apartments we toured was on the 32nd floor, right? Crazy views. You could see the Zakim Bridge, you could see the garden, and you could see Fenway from the same apartment from different windows.
That rules.
So very cool. However, if you know me, I hate flying. I am deathly afraid of heights. Like terribly afraid of heights. So this apartment has a little balcony. They have like an outdoor area. Now, I am up there saying, "Oh, this is sick. This view's awesome." Zoe opens the door to the balcony. I, like immediately go into a state of panic. Tears came out of my eyes when she went onto the balcony because I'm like, as she's going out onto the balcony, I am actively backing away, cowering in the apartment. That is how afraid of heights I am. It was horrible. Like some of the worst anxiety I've ever felt. It was. So I don't think we'll be getting a 32nd floor apartment. I don't think that's in the cards. Now, we did tour one in not the same building, but like the one next to it. There's like a pair. We did tour one on the 18th floor, which was much more palatable for me. It was much less scary. Still didn't love it, but I did.
It comes to a point like, what's the difference? If you fall from the 18th floor, if you fall from the 32nd floor, you're getting the same result.
I understand. You're gonna be
very flat.
It was a mindset thing. Like the difference in height, like I know the result is the same, but like the difference in mindset and height is like it was stark. Like I told you, the 32nd floor I was backing up. I made it onto the balcony on the 18th floor. I did not go near the edge, but I got out there. I was out there. It was very cool. The view was awesome, but that was an unfortunate part. And the other thing I did want to mention, this is very random. Got back home from the little 2-day stay in Boston. There was like a letter for me, like this thing. I called my mom. I asked her what it is. Apparently someone at her work found this and got it for me. It is a Boston Globe picture, like team picture of this from the 76 Celtics. Very random. Check out the YouTube channel, obviously subscribe and you can see it on there. But it is a team photo of the 1976 Celtics. Very random. It was just at my house today. And I was like, oh, I mean, very cool. I was just confused as to what it was. But
perhaps you can use that for the trivia.
Yeah, I could stick it up back here.
The player.
I could throw it in the background.
Who is that player? You could look at.
Yeah. Who it is? Yeah, like who's the man? Like the card deck we have the trivia. Anyways, we can get into the Celtics now. Very random tidbits.
I mean, you thought we'd go and not do a pod after that game?
Yeah, we had to.
Come on, we had to do it. And maybe I'm busy tomorrow, but that's neither here nor there.
Big time win for the Celtics. The Nets are second in the East, and now they slide even further back into second. Celtics move 3 games ahead of the Nets. And as a little cherry on top for Celtics fans, the Bucks and the 76ers both lost. The Bucks lost to the Heat, and the Sixers lost to the Thunder. On the same night. So now the Celtics are 3 games up on the Nets, 3.5 games up on the Bucks, and 5 games up on the 76ers on the season. Only team in the league with 30 wins, and now they have 31. So how's that for you? It's just a very, very important win for the Celtics. You really needed this one if you wanted to maintain a good spot in the standings, and they got it. And yeah. I mean, we're going to talk about how the game went because I know I have some mixed feelings, but it was a very important win for Boston.
Yep. Pre-game, we talked about it. Looking at the standings today, actually it was before today. It was before the game yesterday. I was like, oh, wow. Like they win these 2 games. They're going to create a little bit of separation up at the top. And they took care of business, beat the Pelicans yesterday, which was a pretty good win. Which for some reason, when we were talking about things to talk about before the show.
Yeah, I guess we haven't talked since the Pelicans. I really thought we talked since then.
And I forgot about it.
I did too. I mean, Jaylen scored 41. I really thought we.
Well, of course, you forgot then.
I guess it. Nah, come on. Well, I think in my head I was counting like the pregame stream as like a pod, even though it's.
Oh yeah, I mean, we talked about it.
Well, I mean,
we talk a lot now.
I don't know how much there's to talk about that. Jalen's 41. That was maybe his best game of the season. I mean, it was a season high, but like the way he got his shots, I thought was super impressive. Like. I mean, there's this whole narrative now, obviously, you know, oh, Jack hates Jaylen Brown. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Exactly. The reason I was like critiquing him earlier in the season is when he went through this rough stretch of poor ball handling, turning it over, taking tough shots, not executing in the Pelicans game. And he's been really well, playing really well recently, which I have talked about. He's playing well off of others, right? He'll play well off of Tatum. He'll play well off of Brogdon, off of White. And even in that Pelicans game, he was just getting to his spots very smoothly and getting the shots within the flow of the offense, right? Like when I say like within the flow of the offense, I don't always mean, someone needs to dish him an assist and he shoots, right? He can take an ISO shot as long as it's not like purposefully disrupting what the Celtics are doing. ISO shots are important. They're a part of basketball, right? Not every possession is going to be beautiful ball movement. That's why you have superstar players. And that's, I think, what made Jaylen Brown's 41-point night so impressive, that he mixed in the off the ball movement and the, playing off everybody else with those tough mid-range shots that have made him so elite this season. So it was just a great game for him.
It was an efficient 41 too, which is big bonus on that end.
Mm-hmm.
I am always more impressed when guys aren't missing shots. Unfortunately, he's got an injury now, which we'll get into in a little bit, but just a little bit back to the Pelicans game. That went how it should have went. Pelicans did not have Zion. They didn't have Brandon Ingram. They didn't have Herb Jones.
They had red hot CJ McCollum though, apparently.
Yes,
what the hell?
Yeah,
that was
I'd
crazy.
had enough of him by the end of the day. But seriously, like, one, it went how it was supposed to go, but two, good on the Celtics, because they played down to competition recently and they didn't do it against the Pelicans. They didn't. McCollum gave him a good punch. They ate it, punched back, and won in a blowout. That's really what you wanted to see. Nice way to end the quick 2-game homestand there for them too. Just happy to see it. Both the Jays got 30. Obviously, Jaylen had 41. Tatum finished with 30 with a little stat padding there at the end.
Yeah, right.
I thought you got a great game out of Horford, which was great.
Brogdon played well.
Yep, Brogdon is back, which we can get into shortly as well. And really, everybody's been finding their footing, finally. That scare you had in December where they looked like they were in Space Jam and the Monstars got them is over. Brogdon's back. Derek White is shooting threes again really well. Al Horford really never faltered, but Grant Williams is stepping up again. We saw a good Peyton Pritchard game against the Nets tonight, which is great.
He played okay against the Pels too.
Yep,
not bad.
He got some run against the Pelicans at least. He wasn't perfect, but he looked more comfortable against the Nets, which I guess I'll transition there.
Well,
good
first,
win.
Do you know what I think it is? Sorry, not to cut you off. Just what you were saying about how like the Celtics went through the slump. Everyone was talking about how like, oh, water's going to find its level. I feel like that's where we are right now. Like the start of the season was red hot. Like, I'm not saying they couldn't have sustained it, but it felt pretty unsustainable what the Celtics are doing in terms of shooting. And then December to early January, they were just flat. They couldn't make shots. The defense was suffering because of it. And now they're not the same red hot offensive team they were, but they're making more shots and they're not letting the missed shots affect their defense. So I feel like the current version of the Celtics, they've won 8 of their last 10, or is it now 9 of their last 10? It's one of the two. They've won a lot of games,
8.
5 in a row again. Okay.
8. Because they won 4 before they lost 2. So you're going to be 8 out of 10 until you play a lot of games.
Gotcha. Well, 5 in a row. And so it feels like this is like the version of the Celtics that now can be sustained for the rest of the regular season.
Which is good.
Playoffs. Yes.
Because when you're playing scorched earth like you were for the first month and a half, it's kind of scary being a fan because you are waiting for that hammer to fall. And when it does fall,
it sets unrealistic expectations. Yes, absolutely.
When it fell hard, there was panic. I was nervous. I was like, man, like they fell off. I didn't think they were going to suck, but I was like, this is a problem. And it looks like they figured it out. Guys know how to shoot again. They're working a little bit harder on the offensive end. Doesn't look super lazy. Might have looked a little lazy at the end of this Nets game. But really, they've been pretty good. Can't ask for much more. They continue to win games. They're playing good defense now. You're seeing more than just Tatum willing them to victories. This Nets game was a prime example of that. Again, good win. Tatum kind of poor. I don't know if you really thought that.
I didn't think he was good.
You're welcome to disagree, but he just a lot of step back threes. Not big on the step back threes when you don't have it. But you got good games from everybody else, so it didn't matter. And that's what really makes the Celtics team great, makes this team better than last season's team, and should have you excited going forward. You got double-double from Marcus Smart, which was a pick from both Smash the Odds and I. I had the over 12.5 points. He had over 22.5 total. Both hit. Jack hit with the Malcolm Brogdon 16 points, which was under 16.5. Yes. By the skin of his teeth, clean sweep on that pregame on Heavy. Don't worry about it. Big debut for the fellas.
Just barely.
Tim nailing Dunker Dave's height.
On the money. Great pick by Tim.
To which I then mistook for his age, which was only a year off. But that was good from us. Good from the Celtics. Derek White, again, excellent, blocking the shot
Big
on
game.
PJ Warren's drive late in that game. Good Rob game. Grant Williams, I thought he was really good. You saw him create tough shots on dead possessions.
Didn't make a three
multiple
either.
times.
Yeah.
And of course, we talked about, I touched on Pritchard. Pritchard loves playing the Nets. I felt like I was watching the playoffs again last season. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Made a three in the corner, got confident, made back-to-back buckets in the fourth quarter. First on a tough drive, second turnaround fall away right by the elbow on a high arcer. Big time shots from Pritchard, and they need
still. Excuse me, what was I going to say? Still one of the I think I just completely lost what I was saying.
What are you going to do? Sometimes it happens.
Yeah, that was brutal. Oh, I think I was going to talk about Derek White. Found his shooting stroke again. Like, he's shooting again. He made 4 of 7 from the 3-point range against the Nets. He lost it for a while. He was shooting really poorly. And now it seems like he's kind of getting back into that rhythm. He had 15 and 7 against the Nets, which was a pretty good game from him. Marcus Smart, like Sam said, double-double. The guard play was really good. And this is kind of what you want to see from the Celtics guards as Sam comes back from his freeze. But that's okay. We kept it rolling. I was talking anyways. It's fine. I was talking. Derek White. Big game, Derek White, shooting well again. The three-headed monster. It was weird because we kind of cursed them. We put out that video about the Celtics three-headed monster at the guard position, and they kind of slumped. But you mentioned Jason Tatum being kind of meh against the Nets, and I kind of want to lump Marcus Smart into this a little bit. The shot selection against Brooklyn was kind of not good at times.
You knew that
in
was
my
coming.
opinion.
You knew it was coming. From
you
him.
said it before the game. You said it before the game.
You were going to have to live with that. He was technically going to be the second option in that starting lineup tonight. You knew it. Brown's out. This is how it goes. It doesn't mean it's super acceptable. Doesn't mean it's the greatest, but it is.
That's just what usually happens.
What you're going to get in that situation. Yeah. But also what you got is a pretty complete game from him. He had the double-double. He passed the ball really well.
6 boards.
Early. Had the 6 rebounds. Played tremendous defense on Kyrie down the stretch. Really, I thought they were going to make a push to get back in that game, the Nets, and they didn't, partly because of how well he played defense. I mean, Kyrie was really trying, and every shot he had to take was tough.
Yeah, it was a great game for Marcus Smart on that end, especially on Kyrie, like you said. But it's just, like you said, it's not acceptable, but you kind of expect it. And Tatum fell into the trap too. There was just a lot of isolation. I don't necessarily think
Tatum
this was
worse to me.
Yeah, I agree. He took 10 threes. He's 2 for 10 from 3, which is like, I know you're not a big 3-point guy, so that's got to be
not tonight, especially. A lot of the threes he took were not only threes that he was not making. They were tough threes, and they were untimely tough threes.
Yes.
There were times in this game where the Celtics had a chance to build a lead, or they were trying to get back in the game when they fell down in the middle of the game. And he took a quick 3, a tough 3, and you're just like, what's going on here? You need to work harder than that. Sorry. When you're in a tight situation like that, you do. There was one he took at the hash mark, and it was for no reason.
That one was bad.
There was like 10 seconds left on the shot clock.
He was spotting up way too far behind the 3-point line this game. It just seemed like they were trying to force things too much with JB out. And I think the good part about having Jaylen Brown in the lineup is I trust him. And I think I've said this before, even when I was like defending my take that he was having a rough stretch and that me critiquing him. I think I said this. If I'm looking for a bucket, I'm going to JB over JT. And I know you disagreed with me.
That
I think Tim did too. If I'm looking for go down the court and get me a bucket, I lean. It's tough because I lean Jaylen Brown. Jason Tatum's a better shooter. Excuse me. I think he's better off the ball. I think he's even a better shot creator in terms of dribble. But like Jalen's ability to get to his spot in the mid-range or drive past people using his strength is better than Jason Tatum's, right? Like too often do I think I see Jason Tatum, dribble, step back behind the 3-point line or get into that mid-range. And that mid-range fall away has been there for him, right? For Jason Tatum. I mean, he hit the game tying shot against the Lakers and all that.
Yep.
But I think Jaylen Brown's ability to get to his spot where he's comfortable and hit tough buckets has almost surpassed Jason Tatum a little bit this year. And I don't, this isn't a shot at Jason Tatum, right? Like, I don't think it's bad. I think it's great to have two guys who can do it. And this isn't saying that JT's bad at it, right? He's still top 10, top 15 in the league in terms of go get a bucket. But what Jaylen has done this year in the mid range is absurd, right? Like that Pelicans game, and maybe it's, recency bias because that Pelicans game was crazy. But like, if you give Jaylen the ball 8 times out of 10, or maybe not, maybe 7 times out of 10, it's a bucket. The issue is the other 3 times it's usually a turnover, right? Like it's usually, I mean, if you really want to do math, Jaylen Brown has the ball in his hands based on the percentages, roughly 6 times out of 10, it's a bucket. And probably, 2 out of those other times, it's a pass, and 2 of the other times it's a turnover. And you think, oh, that's pretty good, right? And then the issue becomes, right, why aren't those 2 turnovers passes? Why are they enforcing it? But the real thing you want to focus on is that 6 times out of 10, it's a bucket. That's a really good percentage.
Right, from the mid-range,
and
really
I
automatic.
Think, yes, and I think that's what the Celtics really missed against the Nets, and I think that's a big reason why their offense kind of went to crap. And I don't think it was completely bad. Like there were definitely good things about the offense too. There were some flashes of good ball movement. Derek White got a couple really open threes that came from good ball movement. Peyton Pritchard played well. Malcolm Brogdon was a bucket. I want to talk about Luke Kornet specifically in a second anyway, so I'm kind of saving that because he was really good. But the Celtics, I think, very clearly miss Jaylen Brown's I don't want to call it secondary shot creation because he's obviously one of the primary guys, but Jason Tatum's usually your go-to. Jaylen Brown is secondary, but I think they really missed his ability to say, okay, go get a bucket. And I don't know, it turned into some tough possessions for Smart and JT against the Nets. I mean, we're talking about this like they didn't win. It was a good win. We opened up saying it was a great win, but I don't think the offense was very good overall. The defense, though,
I will say this. Hold on.
Good. Yes. You're good.
Now, I know you are discussing the entire game when you talk about getting a bucket. However, I did have to look just because I was curious, and this is not a Jack is wrong. I think you have a good point. But I do see here, clutch field goal percentage, Jason Tatum 45.5, Brown 32.3. Now, you really want to have fun, Marcus Smart 55.6, and he doesn't take that much fewer attempts than the other 2. They're the only 3 on the team. Actually, that's not true. Hauser has an average of 1 field goal attempt in the clutch, but hasn't played a lot of clutch games. The other 3 have all been involved in a good amount of clutch games. Tatum, the only one averaging over 2 attempts in the clutch. Smart and Brown both over 1. Smart at 1.4, Brown at 1.9. So all 3 of them have had some sort of responsibility down the stretch. I guess Smart has been statistically the best in terms of efficiency, at least from the field. But Tatum has been the better of the 2 shot creators down the stretch.
Wait, where are you looking?
In the players clutch traditional stats.
Interesting. Yeah. Right, because I'm only noting this because Trevor Haas, who writes for Celtics blog, he wrote about this. He wrote about how Jaylen Brown's been better in the clutch than Jason Tatum this season. So I'm curious why these stats
How old is this?
To yesterday. Yeah, this article came out yesterday. So I'm confused. One sec. Let me break this down. So this is happening. Jaylen Brown has scored the 4th most points in the 4th quarter this season. In the NBA. Giannis has scored more. DeMar DeRozan has scored more. LeBron James has scored more. He also has the 4th most field goals made per 4th quarter, and the fifth highest field goal percentage in the 4th quarter. So I guess clutch in 4th quarter is different. However, goes on to talk about the clutch. It says, or maybe these are just 4th quarter stats.
It might be 4th quarter. And he might very well be right, especially if he's doing totals in the 4th quarter, because pretty sure Brown plays the whole 4th quarter. He's usually out there when the Tatum rest minutes happen at the beginning.
Well, Tatum actually averages.
Sure.
Tatum actually. Yes, maybe you're right. Tatum's scoring average in the 4th is slightly higher, but Brown has more total.
Yeah. And
Brown is shooting, 4 percentage points better from the field than Tatum and better from 3.
It's fine with me.
Yeah.
You have the best of both worlds. You have a guy that's doing it for the whole quarter. You have one guy that does it when it's a really close game.
Yeah,
so fine with me.
I was just confused because I remember an article.
Whole story of this duo is Who gives a shit? They're both good.
Yeah, right. That's the if you had to describe the Celtics and the narratives behind the
Yeah.
I mean,
we spend our pregame and live streams arguing with the chat about Brogdon and Smart and Derek White, who are all good. You spent the last 2 seasons arguing about Brown and Tatum. Now people are kind of finally over that. Not really, but kind of, at least a little bit.
Most people, hopefully,
yeah,
should
most
be
people,
over it,
not
but...
you, but everybody else.
Well, come on. Sam loves to push this narrative. All right. I want to talk about, like I said, I wanted to spend a good chunk of time on it. I want to talk about Luke Kornet. I want to start a dialogue, Sam.
I'm probably on your side on this. In the pregame, I always defend him.
We have a pregame chatter, Luis, who loves to come in and crap on Luke Kornet, and I always defend Luke Kornet. Luke Kornet, great game against the Nets. After a pretty good game against the Pelicans, Luke Kornet came out against the Nets and played very, very, very well. No Al Horford because it was the second night of a back-to-back, so Luke Kornet stepped into that backup big man role, played 16 minutes, 42 seconds, shot 5 for 5 from the field, 1 for 1 from 3, 11 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist. I mean, you can't really ask much more from a guy who you're asking to be the third string center in a team and step up into a backup role for the night. He played just phenomenally well. Extremely good game from Luke Kornet. The 3 was great. He would have had a 3 against the Pelicans too, but they waved it off because illegal screen or off the ball foul or
a lot of waving off tonight at the Barclays. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
You had the goaltend that wasn't called. Then you had the ticky-tack foul they did call when Derek White was about to shoot a wide open 3, which he made. And then you had the play that got challenged and overturned that they called on a drive of Tatum, to which Rob was about to have a dunk. Oh, no, they had a one that wasn't even that one. There was one where Grant dumped it off to Rob, and they called that one off. They're wiping points off the board like nothing, but to get back to Kornet.
Well, I'll add quickly before you get back to Kornet.
Ahead.
And they missed a goaltending call on Tatum, and then the Nets got an easy transition bucket.
That's what I was talking about. That was the turning point in the game. They ripped off a 9-0 run after that.
They did.
They started it with a 4-point swing. It was obvious goaltend. It wasn't even close. Then Brooklyn rips off a run. Also in that run, the Derek White thing happened where he made the open 3, but they called it off because they called the playback for some ticky-tack foul on the pass. Bad from the officiating.
Weird
officiating officials. The head ref tonight, the one doing the reviews, he's bad. This is not the first gripe I have had with this individual. Don't know what his name is. Know him. He's bad. Real bad.
That's all right.
But Kornet. Real good. Real good. He played really great, especially when he first got in the game. Those were timely baskets he got right away. The dunk, I believe it was, and then a putback, not a putback, a 3 were huge. The Celtics were kind of reeling to start that game. Brooklyn came out hot.
He was their leading scorer at some point in time, I remember.
No, he played well, and it was timely. Those are the big stretches in these games that don't always have to come in the clutch. There are important stretches throughout the game that decide the game. Sounds silly, but if you keep your team hanging around, that's enough sometimes.
Good defense, too. Really, really solid defense. He's limited, obviously, because he's not going to get out there and guard the perimeter. But if you're looking for a guy who's going to get in there and protect the rim well, he does it at a pretty good level. I don't want to say high level. That might be a bit too much, but for his position,
he's
on
the
team,
definition of fine.
Really well. Exactly. Yes. I agree. And I mean, 11 points, 5 rebounds, 3 offensive boards. He crashed the glass really well, too.
Him and Pritchard.
For a guy, Pritchard, right? For a guy that's super awkward looking and super awkward in the way he moves, he gets up there and he rebounds really well, right? And obviously being 7'2" definitely, helps.
Yeah.
But the way he gets in there and fights is impressive. So it's good to see from a guy on a minimum contract for a couple years in Boston.
He's quality.
How long is his contract? Do you know off the top of your head?
I think it might just be through the season, but I mean, he came here
on the books for next year too.
Oh, good for him.
2.4. There you go.
Came to Boston in the COVID year when there was nobody in the stands. Did not play with the team for the majority of last season. Started in Milwaukee, went to the G League, picked up by Maine. Then they brought him up, which was good. And he's just continued to improve. He's still solid. He's good enough to be the third string guy before the season. That was the big narrative, right? Who are they going to bring in? Who's it going to be? Who are they going to trade for? Who's the big man? Is it going to be Dwight Howard? Is it going to be
There were
Whiteside?
questions about him in the starting lineup, too, for a while next to Al before the season because he was practicing with the starters with Al and played.
I remember that. Yeah, he was wearing the green jersey.
They got him in that Bulls trade, right? He came over in the Tice trade with Wagner, I believe. Originally, I'm 90% sure. I can look it up, but let me check. Tice Celtics Bulls trade. I swear. Let me see here.
Actually, you might be right. I got it mixed up. I thought you meant when they got Tice.
Wait a second. Daniel Gafford and Chandler Hutchinson to the Wizards. Troy Brown Jr., Mo Wagner. I really thought Kornet, was in this trade. Okay, yes. Luke Kornet heading to Boston too. So he was in that trade for Celtics. And that first year he got to Boston, the 2020, 2021, he played some good games for the Celtics.
Yeah,
right?
His debut game was big in OKC.
Injury issues. He was good. And I'm glad the Celtics kept tabs on him, kept him around, brought him back, and then signed him to a 2-year deal. Heem Hauser signing multi-year deals this past summer. Kornet for this year, next year. Hauser on a 3-year contract, which is going to look like a steal if he ever finds his 3-point shot again.
He's been all right lately. Not great today.
Rough miss for Hauser. I remember one specifically where he missed by a mile. It just seems like he's thinking about it too much. I'm sure he'll break out of it, but
it's his only job.
Yeah, right. But Kornet's looked really good. I've been impressed, and it got me thinking, Sam. Kornet's been impressive, and I know I talk about how, for a third string center, he's good. So before we recorded in the fourth quarter of that Celtics game against the Nets, I made a list of every single third string center in the league. And I try
fire. All right.
And I tried to
I know where this is going.
I tried to find his place on it. So we're going to go through the list.
Oh, I thought you were going to ask you what teams these guys are on.
Well, that is part of it.
Okay.
Now, somehow I ended up with 29 players. So I don't know which team I forgot. But we'll try to figure it out as we go. And the comment sections will let me know which team I forgot. But
no, they won't.
No, they won't. All right. Number 29. And I put these in order based on how good I think they were. It was very quick. So if I mess up third string center rankings, don't shoot the messenger, right?
Okay. All right.
Moussa Diabate is who I had on 29.
Which team does he play for? Oh,
and keep in mind also some context. Third string center. Some teams don't have 3 centers. Some teams like the Cavs listed like Jared Allen as their starting center. Kevin Love is their backup center. Evan Mobley is their third string, which is just like Evan Mobley is a power forward and Kevin Love is a power forward right now for them. So I counted, Robin Lopez as the true backup, and then the third string is the next guy. You know what I'm saying? So there was some leeway I took here. But Moussa Diabate, if you would like to get here,
I know they just played this guy. It's true, right? I'm right.
Yeah.
So,
semi recently.
Oh man.
I'll say. Let me see. Wait, maybe they didn't. I'll double check for you. But the last time they played this team was the very end of 2022. So the end of December, the last few days of December. So
was he on the Clippers?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's not one of the teams I thought, but I know the schedules.
He's a two-way guy, so he's their third string because it's Zubac. Then it was like Robert Covington, who I don't count as a center. Blah blah blah. All right, Mamadi Diakite.
Disaster.
Mamadi Diakite, I think is how you say it. I give you a clue on this one because I was just talking about him as my example for positional stuff. Wink, wink.
Oh, he's on the Cavs.
Yeah, he's Cavs.
Yeah. Well, that's honestly what I thought. I'm not screwing with you. I really.
All right. Let's speed through some of these. Let's not go through all 30. All right. Vernon Carey Jr. I had next. He's Wizards. Eugene Omarui. I'm gonna say it wrong. He's the Thunder. He started for them the other night though, so he's getting some minutes.
What are we doing?
I can't say it. Tony Bradley, Udoka Azubuike, Nathan Knight, Goga Batadze, Daron Sharp, Frank Kaminsky. Have I said anybody better than Luke Kornet yet?
Not better, but you're starting to get some names I know.
Exactly. Charles Bassey, Trendon Watford, Jericho Sims, JaVale McGee. I know that's a big name. He's been absolutely horrendous this year.
No, he's not really good.
Same thing with Nerlens Noel, who I have. Xavier Tillman.
Noel, I'm not sure he's playing anywhere. Or is he on the Pistons?
Pistons. He's third string on the Pistons right now. Xavier Tillman, JaMychal Green. Xavier Tillman's iffy, I guess, because he's younger, but right now he's not. I don't think he's doing too much in Memphis. JaMychal Green, I put a question mark next to because I don't know if he's a power forward or a center. But
really center.
They don't really have front court depth there. I have the Heat guys, Orlando Robinson, Dwayne Dedmon. Don't really know what's going on there, so I kind of lumped them together.
I'll tell you what's going on there. They don't like Dedmon. He's out. He's a rat.
Yeah, but who's the third and who's the second at this point? Because Robinson's getting the touches, so is Dwayne Dedmon the second or the third?
I think going into the year it's Robinson, so that's where it stands.
Okay.
He's so good he's earned his way up.
Okay. All right. Serge Ibaka I have as well. I know some Bucks fans are not very happy with him this season. He's not playing too well. Usman Garuba is up there. DeAndre Jordan, that's the level we're at right now, people. DeAndre Jordan is top 10 third string center in the league right now. So I have that for you. Paul Reed, Jackson Hayes, Bismack Biyombo. Now I think we're starting to get into Luke Kornet's probably around their range. I have Luke Kornet on there as well with Richaun Holmes, Christian Koloko, Nick Richards, and then Mo Bamba is technically the third string.
Yeah, Mo Bamba, good. Well, not good. Good for this list.
Good for a third string, right? But I think that puts into context, how good Kornet is compared to the other people at his exact position, right? Like we're talking, if you want to talk about, Kornet's bad. Yeah, well, Hawks are working with Frank Kaminsky, right? Right. The Wizards are working with Vernon Carey. The Rockets, Usman Garuba, the Nuggets, DeAndre Jordan, right? Richaun Holmes, who's making a decent contract and was good for the Kings, barely gets minutes for them right now. Like he's not playing very well, right? Nick Richards in Charlotte. The Charlotte Hornets are so weird. This is a weird tangent. The Charlotte Hornets have like 4 centers on the roster that would be like decent backups in most places, but they don't have any starting quality centers, right? Like Mason Plumlee would be a pretty good backup, but you don't necessarily want him as your starting center. Nick Richards, pretty good backup. Don't really want him starting. Mark Williams is who you want starting in Charlotte, but he's a rookie, so he's not there yet. Kai Jones, like they have 4 like decent big men, but none of them are good enough to be regular starting. They just need to bite the bullet and start Mark Williams regularly. But this was just to highlight Luke Kornet a little bit briefly.
Let's highlight another individual. Luka Samanic, 45 points for the main red club. Yes. No, you think I'm talking about G League for no reason? I was doing a nice Twitter scroll as Jack had a conversation with himself about the fellas at the end of the bench. Yeah, 45-6, 2 blocks, 2 steals. He may be coming for that third string center spot. Also, Ben Simmons.
What about him?
Ben Simmons on the Celtics. Coming in here and playing a team like that, that's fun. You want to play the best team the way they play. They're very together defensively and offensively.
That can be a dialogue. Sam, that's your dialogue. How many players on the Celtics are better than Ben Simmons right now?
Tatum Brown, Rob Williams.
Okay.
Probably Smart. Definitely smart. Just because he's able to he'll take shots. Derek, this is tough because like I don't know, like it gets to the point where I'm talking out of my ass, but like I don't know, Derek White gives you a lot. Like he's really versatile. You see, I think right
now Simmons is on the level of the Celtics like 3-headed guard combo, like the Smart, White, Brogdon. I think that's right around the level he's at, and like you can nitpick and choose where he deserves to be among those guys.
You'd rather have him or Grant. In all seriousness, bias aside. This is not a bit.
I think context is important for this Celtics team. It's Grant, like not even close.
I agree.
Right? But like, if I am I don't know. I guess the Nets is a good example. I'd probably take Ben Simmons over Grant on the Nets, right? Just because he's a better defender. I think. I mean, Grant's a good defender, but Ben Simmons is a better defender.
I don't know. I might put
defender.
No. I'm not talking about defense. I'm just talking about fit. That Nets team has tons of shooters. They're kind of built like the Celtics. They thrive on being able to space the floor.
I do think you need Ben's passing, though. I really think they really need Ben's passing.
I don't know.
Well, he's leading them in assists, if I'm not wrong. If not, he's second.
Oh, there's no doubt he's passing the ball well. I mean, he had 13 assists against the Celtics.
I think they'd miss that, though, with Grant on the roster instead of
I think Simmons does make them a good transition team. You saw that tonight. Mm-hmm. He set up Joe Harris a bunch of times.
I'd take Simmons. Okay. I will also say, though, if I'm like I said, it depends on the context. Like a team like the Celtics or the Sixers, or the Bucks, like teams with already established like star trios, I take the role players.
The sarcastic laugh is killing me. The monotone, sarcastic.
But like thinking of another good team, like if I'm, let me pull up the standings quick. I need to figure out an example. Excuse me. Like for the Warriors. I might take Ben Simmons, right? Like if you got the shooters
Well,
already,
yeah, he wouldn't have to
you got
shoot.
the
He was
defender.
on the Warriors. He
That's
wouldn't
what I'm
have to
saying with the
shoot.
Nets, though. That's what I'm saying with the Nets, though.
Yeah.
Right? Because they got KD, they got Seth Curry, they got
They have a
Kyrie, they
ton of
got
shooters
Joe
on the
Harris.
Nets. It's fair.
If I'm trying to think of, if I'm the Knicks, I'd take Ben Simmons, right? I think the Knicks would love a guy like Ben Simmons to help initiate that offense, to help defend him, Jalen Brunson, RJ Barrett, Julius Randle, Mitchell Robinson, like having that extra defender, that primary defender, that extra passer, the transition guy. I think he'd help them. I'd like him on the Hawks, right? You got the backcourt of Trey and DeJounte. I think he'd be, I was about to say the Pelicans, but I guess it'd be a little bit awkward with Zion. I think there are plenty of teams where you could insert Ben Simmons over Grant Williams. I think Ben Simmons is the better player, but I think in a lot of situations, Grant Williams might be a better fit because of the shooting. All right. Well, the last thing I did want to touch on quickly, second fan returns of All-Star voting has come out. The first ones were out. Jason Tatum was outside of the top 3 in front court voting. Now he's in the top 3, past Joel Embiid on the list, just barely by, I think, what is that? Maybe 33?
Not a lot.
Yeah, 33,000, which is very minuscule when you're talking about millions of votes. KD still leading with Giannis close behind him. Pretty big gap, around 1.2 mil. Then there's Jason Tatum and Joel Embiid right neck and neck, but they also have a very, very big gap over Jimmy Butler, who is in 5th. Meanwhile, Jaylen Brown is still 4th in voting in the East for guards. Kyrie with a very big 300,000 roughly vote gap above second place Donovan Mitchell, who deserves it. Donovan Mitchell's been ridiculous this season. James Harden behind him, and he is about 60K above Jaylen Brown, who is in 4th, who is about 400K ahead of Trae Young in 5th. James Harden, in my opinion, who does not deserve it more than JB. I can see an argument for Kyrie. I don't think there should be one because I think Jaylen's been more consistent and has played the whole season. However, the Nets have climbed up there. He's been great, so I can understand that. James Harden, though, I'm not buying it.
Well, yeah, Jack, one of the teams is first in the Eastern Conference, and the other one lost tonight with Kyrie getting put in a straitjacket by Marcus Smart. I will say the impressive turnaround from the Nets has fueled the All-Star voting for sure. You've seen a lot of positive things from that team, despite Ben Simmons being a little brain dead. What are you going to do? Kyrie being a rat. What are you gonna do?
Of course, I mean that's happened though.
But seriously, like they both have a pretty good shot to start. I don't know. Harden's got a lot of votes because of his name. I think they either need to entirely throw out the legitimacy of the All-Star game and just have it all be fan vote, or have it be no fan vote. I think the half is stupid. I don't know. It's like, I get why you have the fans vote because those are the people watching it, and that's all it's about. It's a stupid exhibition game. But at the same time, you got people like us like talking about it.
Yeah, like, right.
This guy should be in. This guy's earned it. Like, so I don't know. Either lean into it or don't. Well, the fan vote's ridiculous.
My thing is, and I think Keith maybe make this point on Twitter. The All-Star game is about the fans, right? Like you want to see your favorite players in it. So I understand like the want and the desire and the need to have a fan vote. I also understand why they made it so the fan vote isn't everything. So you're avoiding the Yao Ming getting in, even when he's averaging like a 10 and 10. Like Yao Ming made the All-Star game every year of his career, and those final years of his career probably didn't deserve to get in the All-Star game, right?
Yeah.
Like Kobe in his final years. Kobe's Kobe, and he's gonna get the votes.
Maybe we talked about that when we did ours, right? With LeBron.
Yeah. Right, like LeBron probably shouldn't
LeBron's
be
a little better
captain,
than Kobe was at his end of his career when the team was garbage.
Yeah, the fans want to see their favorite players as the captains, though. And I will say, the All-Star draft, I think, is fire. I love the draft when the players draft. Like last year, when KD refused to draft Harden, right, and took Gobert, that was funny. So
yeah, I don't know. Well, you know it's bad when like you're picking Gobert.
Right.
Gobert has always been like the guy that's just the last guy.
Always.
Nobody wants him.
That's going to be great.
Who could, except Minnesota, who traded their whole future for him.
Right. Great. I mean, just genius by Minnesota. Holy hell.
Oh, man. How about that? We didn't even think of it like that until now. Literally, dudes in the All-Star game are like getting made fun of because Gobert gets picked over them and franchise trade away their future for that guy. Ooh.
Tim Conley's like, you know that meme where it's like, I need some of that, and they slam the desk and like have the credit card.
No. Oh yes,
you
yes, I
seen
do.
that?
I
You know
do.
what I'm
I
saying?
do.
Like,
I do. I do.
where'd you
Yeah.
get that? Give me the credit card.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, I do.
Sorry for the audio listeners.
I'm usually not great on that, but I got it.
Great meme. Anyways, but yeah, I just wanted to cover the All-Star return since they were big. I mean, Warriors and Lakers fans. I see a lot of people mad. Excuse me. A lot of people mad. You know, Kevon Looney is on the ballot, 435,000 votes, right? Austin Reeves on the ballot, 259,000 votes. A lot of people are mad, like Lakers fans and Warriors fans are idiots. Guys, like they're going to vote for their favorite players. It has nothing to do with the fact that, Domantas Sabonis is having a better season than Kevon Looney. Obviously he is. But I'm sorry, there are just more Warriors fans out there willing to vote for Kevon Looney than there are Kings fans. Period. At the end of the sentence, right? Like, let's call a spade here. There just aren't that many Kings fans, and that's, I think, a big reason why there is definitely flaws in the All-Star voting. However, I will say it is very good that it just determines starters, right? Like, if it determined everything, I think you'd run into a lot more issues. And obviously, you're going to have the quote-unquote flukes like Andrew Wiggins last year. Andrew Wiggins was borderline. Like, at the time, the Warriors were one of the best teams in basketball. He was playing a huge role. Did he
Wiggins
deserve
is
to
the best
be
player on the planet in the finals? So what are you gonna do?
Did he deserve to be an All-Star starter? Probably no. Did he deserve to be an All-Star? There was a case, so I'm not going to complain about it. But yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. I will say it is a crime that LaMelo and Trae Young have more votes than Tyrese Halliburton, because that's messed up. But again, it goes back to Pacers fans.
Bam's not even on the ballot. He's not even in the top 10. And he's good. He's averaging like a double-double.
Kuzma's ahead of him.
22 and 10.
Kuzma. I didn't think there were Washington Wizards fans, but
there's not. There's just moron people that vote.
You know what it is? Because he's an ex-Laker, so the Lakers fans are voting for Kuzma.
Lakers fans, man. Lakers fans are the worst.
You know what I will say? Shout out to Paolo Banchero. Not necessarily for him, even though he looks good. Magic fans. Shout out to Magic fans for showing up.
It's not even Magic fans. It's just like I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it, because I think he's been really good.
He's cool. He's good. Yeah,
it's fine. But that's just the hype. That's media pushing that he's good, which they should. He is good.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of hype, Lauri
Markkinen controls that.
Markkinen on there is cool too, because Utah fans
deserves
it. If they'd be up there, yeah. I think that's about it. I think we can wrap there. Sorry, I thought there was something else, but I forgot again. I've been zoning out tonight.
Who's that guy, or who's the man? Whatever the hell it is. The cards.
Oh yes. Excuse me. Let's do. What do you want to do? 3 cards again?
Yeah, do 3.
All right, let's run it. Let me pull up the sheet quick of like where I have the tally. Oh, I flopped on pregame today. Sam's at 65. I'm at 44. I am waving the white flag at this point. It is brutal. All right. You ready? First card. Excuse me. Born in Paris, France in 1960 and elected to the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame in 2006. Ooh, this is tough. For those, also, I guess I didn't give context for any new listeners. These are, guess the former Celtic cards that my Uncle Dan gave me for Christmas. Shout out, Uncle Dan. But I don't know this, and I feel like I should, but I don't. So, shall we go?
I don't know this one.
All right. Played 77 games for the 94-95 Celtics, averaging 18 points in his lone season with the team. So this is a 1-year Celtics player in 94-95. Yikes.
I have a guess, but I do not know.
I don't think I'm going to have a guess. 2-time winner of the slam dunk contest.
Yeah, I know who it is.
What?
Yep.
Oh, wait. Let me
and it's who I thought it was, too.
Oh, man. Scored 47 points in a loss to the Celtics in Game 7 of the 88 Eastern Finals. Nope.
Oh, my God. That one's a giveaway.
Human highlight film. Oh, wait. Is it Dominique?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. See, the France thing threw me off because I'm thinking international players. I had no idea he was born in France. All right.
Yeah, I knew after the one season, but I wasn't positive.
I didn't know he played with the Celtics, and I definitely didn't know he was French.
He was number 12.
I was thinking, very weird. Grant Williams, good lineage. Yeah, no, the French thing completely threw me off. I had no idea. All right.
Tayshaun Prince, also number 12 on the Celtics. There
you go. Fun fact. All right, 5 points. Next one. Born January 11th, 1949 in Atlantic City, New Jersey. 49. I remember reading Atlantic City, New Jersey. I think I've done this card before, but I just don't know who it is. So, excuse me. I'm ready to go to the next one when you are.
Yeah, you move lost.
On. Shooting guard who averaged 16 points and 6 rebounds over 3 seasons at Villanova. Oof.
I have an idea, but I'm not positive.
No idea. 3 points, shall we?
Yep.
Won an NBA title as a player in 1981 and as assistant coach in 1984 and 86, all with the Celtics.
Ugh.
Got nothing. Next, shall we? All right. Made the first 3-point shot in NBA history in a win over the Rockets at Boston Garden on October 12th, 1979. I vividly remember reading this card when I opened the box, and I still could not tell you who this
Yeah, I don't know who it is.
1 point, earned 4 playoff berths in 5 seasons as head coach of the Celtics from 1990 to 95.
No, I don't know.
Me neither. Chris Ford. Couldn't tell you. All right, that's an L for the Celtics. That or for us, I mean. Last one, last card of the day. I'm gonna pick from the middle of the pack in hopes that I get a modern player. Last card. Named South Carolina Mr. Basketball in 1994 and Illinois Mr. Basketball in 1995.
I know who it is.
No, you don't. Are you serious? All right. Well,
you're gonna be upset.
Wait. So that means he was probably drafted in 90. We already did Ray Allen, though. We've had Ray Allen on the show.
Yeah.
Or as a card. So it's not going to be him. Ah, shit. See, I want to guess something, but I feel like it's going to be stupid. And I don't want to get made fun of, but I just want to get 5 points. So I'm just going to guess Paul Pierce.
Okay,
in hopes that it's him. Paul Pierce.
Nope.
Shit.
It is.
No. I know it's KG. It was a coin flip. I knew it was going to be one of them. Where did Paul Pierce grow up? Am I tripping? Like,
Inglewood,
I feel like I should know
California. LA.
Yeah, see, I should have known that. Oh, I'm mad. Starting in 03-04, led the NBA in rebounding for 4 consecutive seasons. See, I should have taken the 4.
That would have did it for you. What was number 3?
Number 3, named MVP when he averaged 24, 14, and 5. So I would have gotten it, but I was like, I knew it was one of them. For some reason, I thought KG was like the 94 draft class. So I'm like, okay.
Oh, okay.
So I was mixing
KG
it up,
grew up in South Carolina, got in a fight at his high school, and then went to Chicago to finish high school.
Wait, was KG the same draft class as Paul Pierce?
No. They're the same age, but Pierce played at college for a couple seasons.
So Pierce's draft class was what?
98.
And KG's was 96?
He was 95.
97. Well, no, because he was Mr. Illinois basketball in 95.
Yeah, but he went right out of high school.
Well, damn. Okay. You want to do another one or you want to call it?
We can do another one. Because neither one of us got the second one.
I'm just pissed because I need redemption. Card up. 5 points. Born in Martinsville, Indiana in 1956. I am pissed. Just give me a break, man. Like, just give me a 2000s kid or something stupid. This is ridiculous, dude. Hell. No. Let me know when you go on to the next. I got nothing.
I'm not positive.
All right. Played college ball under head coach Fred Schaus and Lee Rose for the Purdue Boilermakers.
Okay, that's not my
Yikes. Should I go next?
56, so
he's got to be what, 40, 70 at this point, 70-ish, 68 maybe. Around there, quick maths. I've got nothing. I don't know if you got anything. But excuse me. Drafted by the Golden State Warriors in 1980 and came to the Celtics in 1985 with a trade with the Pacers. Big yikes from me. I'm very confident that I'm not going to get this one, so I'm might bow out here. Let me know when you're ready for the next one.
Just do the next one. I have a guess, but I'm not sure.
Excuse me. 2 points. One of only 2 players, along with Larry Bird, to appear in every single regular season and playoff game for the 85-86 title Celtics. I've got nothing. 2 Indiana guys, though, apparently, him and Bird. You taking a shot?
Yeah, I'm going to take a shot.
All right, well, where you're taking that shot, I'm going to read the 1-pointer because I don't know. 6'1" guard whose fight with 7'4" Ralph Sampson got the Rockets star center ejected from Game 5.
I think it's Jerry Seasting, but I'm not sure.
It is Jerry Seasting.
Yeah.
Lucky you. I had no idea. I don't even think I've heard of that person. You are now at 69 points.
Number 12. Another 12.
Another number 12. Look at that.
Yeah.
All right. Let's do one more, make it an even 5 because I like the number 5. 5's my favorite number. You should know that. When I was younger.
KG, you didn't get.
All right. Come on now. When I'm pretty sure I have ADHD because when I was younger, hey, I'm just gonna call it as. Oh, you'll understand in a sec. When I was younger, I used to have to say things 5 times, or else it's like a tick. right? Like I would say it 4
Really?
times under my breath after I would say something, and then I'd say it 4 more times under my breath.
Oh, someone need to give you a slap.
Well, no, I didn't say it out loud. I would say it like
I
under my
know.
breath. But anyways, last card of the night to make it an even 5 to appease my my brain. 6'9" forward who started his career with the Phoenix Suns. I have a guess immediately, but I don't want to because this could be a lot. Like this could be some different people, but I need some context.
I'm not gonna do it, but I also have a guess.
Yeah, I don't want to throw away points. All right. Took the first tip off in Toronto Raptors history, jumping against Yinka Dare of the Nets on November 3rd, 1985. This is not even close to what I thought it was.
1985?
Yeah, 1985. Who do you think it was before that?
I thought it was Paul Silas.
Oh, I was gonna go Marcus Morris, but he might be 6'8".
Very different.
Yeah, very different thought process.
1985.
Yeah, that's very weird.
I didn't think the Raptors were a thing until 95.
85
that might
was
be
the
a typo.
first 80. Maybe it is 95, but first tip off in Raptors history was this guy in. It says 85, but there have been typos in this deck before, so it could be 95.
Yeah.
Should
I
go next?
95.
3 points.
Yeah, 3 points. Yeah,
Right.
I don't know.
Averaged 6.1 points, playing in 340 games for the Celtics from 89 to 94. So it might be a typo with the 85 thing, unless he's an older guy. I still don't know it, and I don't think I'm gonna get it because that era of Celtics is
no, I don't know.
Nothing for me. All right, 2 points came to the Celtics in the 1989 trade that sent Danny Ainge to Sacramento. Shall we do 1 point, Sam? Because I am blanking.
Yeah.
This one started off so promising too. Like I felt good with the Suns thing.
Yeah, I did too. I had a guess.
Named most outstanding player at the NCAA tournament after leading the 8 seed Villanova to the national title in 85. So yeah, it must have been 95 for the Raptors, but I've still got nothing. So I'm gonna look at the player. Ed Pinckney.
Would not have got that one.
Which is not gonna happen. All right, dud cards today. L from us. I'll admit.
What do you mean us? I got 3.
All right, L from me. Come on, give me a break.
I was on a heater.
Very tough. Anyways,
is the 5 times thing the strangest thing you did?
What do you mean?
Like, well, you said you had little ticks.
I was a very anxious child as well, so they used to have to pull me out of the building when there were fire drills because I would get too scared.
Okay.
Like they'd tell you before the school, there's gonna be a fire drill today, and I just freaked out, so they just took me out before it was
really.
Yeah. It was kind of torture. It's kind of rude. You just do it. Don't tell everybody when you're gonna do a fire drill. That's rude, right? Don't say before the school day.
I think that's to prepare you. It's like the episode of The Office where Dwight does the fire drill and Stanley has a heart attack.
No, let me ask you a question though. Is the fire gonna tap you on the shoulder and say, "Hey, we're gonna start a fire today"? And the fire alarm? No, that's not how fires work.
No,
right? Like,
but if they don't tell you, you might think it's a real fire, and they don't want the kids to flip out.
Isn't that the point of a fire drill?
No, the fire drill is so you're calm and you can pay attention and know what you're supposed to do.
That's
if there
bogus.
Is a real fire.
It got me anxious. Nah, bogus. I'm crap. I'm trying to think. Any other weird things I did? I don't think so. I think the 5 things was probably the weirdest. There are definitely others, but I just can't think of them. I was very anxious and the OCD or whatever you want to call it, ADHD, all the thing child. And I still am to some degree. I mean, we were just talking with Tim. I have these little floss picks that I use because I used to chew on things.
Yeah.
So I chew on these instead. So there's that. But anyways,
do you like
enough about my childhood. I do. I
good for you.
Use all the things, but like they're mostly just like chew toys because I'm weird. But anyways, enough about my odd childhood. I did Glee Club too, if you want to count that as weird, but we've established that. There's levels. There's levels. Anyways, thank you guys for tuning in. We appreciate it. As always, my only plug is going to be subscribe to the YouTube because that's where we appreciate it, and then I'll leave the rest to Sam.
Yes. Thank you very much for watching or listening. If you're watching, you're on YouTube at How About Them Celtics. Subscribe because we're almost. Oh, I didn't put that up today. Silly me. It kind of looked laggy.
The banner
on the
YouTube,
anyways.
Maybe it did, but it's just a reminder for you to plug it. So there you go.
Subscribe. We're almost at 250. Like the video. Leave a comment. Tell us if you got any of the cards at the end. Also, looking to get yourself tickets to a Celtics game or other events? Head over to SeatGeek and use promo code LaFrance. That's LAFRANCE, like the country, to save $20 on your first purchase. I sure wish that code was HBTC pod or something like that, but it is my last name, so
hilarious.
Get us paid.
Great meme.
Go to the game with our help. Sure would like to help you. If you're listening, you're on whatever streaming service, make sure you follow us there. You can leave a nice review, say we're handsome despite not being able to see us, because it's true.
Or go watch. Just go watch.
Or go watch.
YouTube. Watch the pregame shows too. 30 minutes before every Celtics game, we're there.
From yesterday did not bad. With Tim and
the Pelicans one I saw, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe people just hate me. Maybe people just
no,
don't like
I don't think so. Because the one that was absolutely a dumpster fire also did well.
Okay.
When you were on the train, then all three of us were lagging. Oof.
That was tough.
But anyways, follow us at How About Them C's, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. The page is called How About Them Celtics podcast. So you just like it. You'll get all the shorts, new videos, streams there. You can follow Jack at Jack's1NBA. He's doing work for Celtics blog. Put something out today, if I'm not mistaken. Yes.
I wrote the injury report today. So if you want to check
hard
out the injury report.
Yes. Also, heavy.com for Jack. You can follow me at Sam LaFrance NBA. Had a decent night on Twitter tonight. Also, heavy.com and also my complaints. That's it for us. Oh, actually, at Sam LaFrance NBA. I don't think I actually said the handle. That's it for us. Bye.